The sun begins to paint the sky. Soft colors of pink and orange appear. It is a new day in the woodland. Inside a cozy nest, high in an old oak tree, a small creature stirs. This is Squeaky, a lively gray squirrel. He has slept soundly through the dark night. Now, the first light of morning tickles his whiskers. He stretches his tiny paws. His bushy tail twitches. It is time to wake up and greet the world. The forest is still quiet, but not for long. Squeaky is ready for adventure. Squeaky blinks his bright, dark eyes. He peeks out from his dray, his special tree home. The air outside is cool and fresh. It smells of damp earth and green leaves. He can hear the gentle rustling of leaves in the early breeze. Birds are beginning to sing their morning songs. Their cheerful tunes fill the air. Squeaky listens for a moment. He needs to make sure everything is safe before he leaves his warm bed. His home is made of twigs and soft moss, a perfect shelter from the cold and rain. A little yawn escapes Squeaky. He is still a little sleepy, but the promise of a new day is exciting. There are so many things for a squirrel to do. He needs to find food. He needs to play. He needs to check his territory. His small body is full of energy, ready to leap and climb. The world outside his dray is big and full of wonders. He takes a deep breath of the morning air. It is invigorating. He feels the warmth of the rising sun on his fur. His nest, the dray, is a marvel of construction. Built with care, it sits securely in a fork of strong branches. Squeaky, like other squirrels, might have several drays. Some are for sleeping soundly at night. Others are just for a quick rest during the day. This main dray is his winter home, well insulated with leaves and grass. He feels safe here, but the call of the morning is strong. His stomach rumbles a little. Breakfast is the first important task on his busy schedule today. Before Squeaky starts his busy day, he has some important morning rituals. First, he must groom himself. This is very important for a squirrel. He uses his tiny paws like little combs. He carefully cleans his fur, from the tip of his nose to the end of his bushy tail. He smooths down any ruffled patches. This keeps his coat healthy and clean. A clean coat helps to keep him warm in cool weather. It also helps him to move quietly through the trees without bits of dirt making noise. Once his fur is neat and tidy, Squeaky moves to a sturdy branch near his dray. This branch is his lookout post. From here, he can see a wide area of his territory. He sits up tall on his back legs. His bushy tail helps him to balance. He looks left. He looks right. He scans the ground below and the branches above. He is checking for any danger. Perhaps a sneaky cat is prowling nearby, or maybe a large bird of prey is circling overhead. His sharp eyes miss nothing. This careful survey ensures his safety. His whiskers are also very important tools. They are long and sensitive. They help him feel his way in tight spaces. They can also sense changes in the air currents. As he sits on his lookout branch, his whiskers twitch. They gather information about his surroundings. He also uses his keen sense of smell. He sniffs the air for the scent of food or the scent of other animals. This helps him to understand what is happening in his part of the forest. He is like a little watchman, always alert. After his grooming and careful survey, Squeaky feels ready. He knows his surroundings are safe for now. He has prepared himself for the day ahead. His senses are sharp. His body is clean and ready for action. The sun is a little higher in the sky now. The forest is waking up more and more. Other creatures are starting their day too. Squeaky gives one last flick of his magnificent tail. Then, with a burst of energy, he is ready to begin his search for a tasty breakfast. Now, the real adventure begins for Squeaky. It is time to find food. Squirrels are always thinking about food. They need lots of energy for their active lives. Squeaky scampers down the trunk of the old oak tree. He moves headfirst, a special skill for squirrels. His sharp claws grip the bark easily. He reaches the ground. The forest floor is covered in fallen leaves and twigs. It is a good place to search for hidden treasures. He hopes to find some delicious nuts or seeds. Squeaky uses his excellent sense of smell to guide him. He scurries along, his nose close to the ground. He zigzags this way and that. He stops often to sniff an interesting spot. He remembers burying some nuts last autumn. Squirrels are famous for bearing food for later. This is called caching. They have a good memory for where they hide their supplies. But sometimes they forget a few. These forgotten nuts can grow into new trees. So, squirrels help the forest to grow. He digs a little hole with his front paws. No nut here. He tries another spot. Still nothing. Foraging takes patience and skill. But Squeaky is an expert. He has been doing this since he was a young squirrel. He knows the best places to look. He might find acorns, hazelnuts, or walnuts. He also eats berries, fungi, and sometimes even insects. A varied diet keeps him healthy and strong. He continues his search, his eyes bright with anticipation for his first meal of the day. Suddenly, his nose twitches excitedly. He has found something. Buried just beneath a layer of leaves is a perfect acorn. He quickly digs it up. He holds the acorn in his front paws. He sits up on his back legs. He turns the acorn around and around. He inspects it carefully. Then he begins to gnaw at the hard shell with his strong front teeth. His teeth are always growing, so gnawing helps to keep them short and sharp. Finding this acorn is a great start to his day. It provides much needed energy. Squeaky has enjoyed his breakfast acorn. Now he feels energetic. He decides to explore the treetops. Squirrels are amazing acrobats. They are built for life in the trees. Squeaky leaps from the ground onto the trunk of a nearby beech tree. He climbs up with incredible speed and grace. His sharp claws give him a firm grip on the bark. His strong back legs propel him upwards. He makes climbing look so easy. It is like he is dancing up the tree. High up in the branches, Squeaky is in his element. He can travel for long distances just by jumping from tree to tree. This is called arboreal locomotion. He carefully judges the distance to the next branch. He crouches down. Then he springs into the air. His bushy tail acts like a rudder and a parachute. It helps him to balance and steer while he is flying through the air. He lands perfectly on the next branch. It is a breathtaking display of agility. He can leap many times his own body length. Sometimes a branch might be very thin and wobbly, but Squeaky is not afraid. He has excellent balance. He can run along narrow branches as if they were wide pathways. If he does slip, his sharp claws can quickly catch hold again. His flexible ankle joints are also very special. They can rotate almost 180 degrees. This allows him to climb down trees head first. Not many animals can do that. It gives him a great advantage for escaping danger or reaching food quickly. He pauses on a high branch, surveying the world below. From up here, he has a fantastic view. He can see other squirrels playing in nearby trees. He can see birds flying past. The canopy is a busy highway for many forest creatures. Squeaky feels safe and confident among the leaves and branches. This is his kingdom. His physical abilities are perfectly suited for this three-dimensional world. He is a true master of the trees, a tiny acrobat performing daily wonders. Section 5. Neighbors and Nemesis. Encounters in the green world. Life in the forest is not always peaceful for Squeaky. He shares his home with many other animals. Some are friendly neighbors, others can be dangerous threats. As he explores, Squeaky is always aware of who is around him. He might see a family of deer grazing quietly on the forest floor. They are usually no threat to him. He might also spot rabbits nibbling on grass. He watches them for a moment before continuing his journey through the branches. These creatures are part of his daily landscape. However, there are predators that Squeaky must always watch out for. A red fox might be silently stalking through the undergrowth. Foxes are clever hunters. If Squeaky is on the ground, he must be extra careful. Birds of prey, like hawks or owls, are another danger. They have sharp eyes and can swoop down silently from the sky. Squeaky often looks up to check for these aerial threats. His quick reflexes and ability to dart into dense foliage are his best defenses against them. Sometimes Squeaky encounters other squirrels. If it is another gray squirrel from his area, they might greet each other with chattering sounds and tail flicks. They might even chase each other playfully through the trees. But if it is a stranger squirrel entering his territory, Squeaky might become aggressive. He will chatter loudly and fluff up his tail to look bigger. He might chase the intruder away. Squirrels can be quite territorial, especially when it comes to their food stashes or their favorite nesting spots. It's important to protect what is yours. He also has to be wary of domestic cats, especially if his territory is near human homes. Cats are skilled hunters and can climb trees too. Squeaky knows to keep a safe distance from them. His survival depends on his constant vigilance and his ability to react quickly to any sign of danger. He uses his keen hearing, sharp eyesight, and swift movements to stay one step ahead of potential threats. Every day is a delicate balance of finding food and avoiding becoming food for someone else. Section 6. Midday Ventures. Caching treasures and continued searching. The sun is high in the sky now. It is the middle of the day. Squeaky has been busy. He has eaten some food, but a squirrel's work is never truly done. He continues to forage. He is not just eating for today. He is also thinking about the future. Squirrels are famous for their habit of caching or storing food. This is especially important for the winter months when food is scarce. So, when Squeaky finds extra nuts or seeds, he doesn't eat them all immediately. He picks up a particularly fine hazelnut. He inspects it. Then, instead of eating it, he looks for a good hiding place. He might bury it in the soft earth, or he might tuck it into a crevice in a tree trunk. He digs a small hole with his front paws. He places the nut inside. Then he carefully covers it up with soil and leaves. He pats down the earth with his paws. He even tries to make the spot look undisturbed. This is to prevent other animals from finding his hidden treasure. Squirrels have an amazing spatial memory. They can remember the locations of hundreds or even thousands of their buried nuts, but they don't rely on memory alone. Their keen sense of smell also helps them to relocate their caches later on. Even under a layer of snow, they can often sniff out their buried food. This caching behavior is vital for their survival, ensuring they have enough to eat when fresh food is hard to find. It's a very clever strategy for a small animal. Sometimes Squeaky might engage in deceptive caching. If he thinks another squirrel or a bird is watching him, he might pretend to bury a nut in one spot. He will go through all the motions of digging and covering, but he doesn't actually leave the nut there. Then, when the coast is clear, he will take the nut to a different secret location to bury it properly. This shows how intelligent these little creatures are. They are always working, always planning, always ensuring they have what they need. Section 7. The human element. Giants in the garden below. Squeaky's forest patch is close to where humans live. Sometimes his daily adventures take him into their gardens. Humans can be a mixed blessing for squirrels. On one hand, gardens can offer new sources of food. People might have bird feeders filled with seeds and nuts. These are very tempting for a hungry squirrel like Squeaky. He is agile enough to climb up feeder poles or jump from nearby branches to reach these tasty treats. He has learned that these tall, two-legged giants sometimes provide easy meals. However, humans can also present dangers. Some people do not like squirrels in their gardens. They might try to scare them away. They might have dogs or cats that could chase or harm Squeaky. Roads near human houses are also dangerous. Cars move very fast, and a squirrel needs to be extremely careful when crossing. Squeaky has learned to be cautious around humans and their environment. He knows to quickly scamper up a tree if a human or a pet comes too close. Safety first is always his motto. He has observed humans from a safe distance. He sees them walking, talking, and working in their gardens. They are very large and often noisy. Sometimes they leave out food specifically for wildlife, which Squeaky appreciates. Other times, they might unknowingly destroy a good hiding spot for his nuts when they are gardening. It is a complex relationship. Squeaky tries to take advantage of the good things, like fallen fruit from apple trees, while avoiding the potential risks. He is adaptable. One interesting thing Squeaky has noticed is that some humans seem to enjoy watching him. They might sit quietly and observe his antics as he dashes around the garden. They might even talk to him in soft voices. Squeaky doesn't understand their words, of course, but he can sense when they are not a threat. He might even become bold enough to come a little closer if he feels safe, but he never forgets that he is a wild creature. He always keeps an escape route in mind. Section 8. Dusk approaches. 1. Last foray before rest. The afternoon sun begins to dip lower in the sky. The light becomes softer, casting long shadows across the forest floor. Squeaky knows that his day of activity is slowly coming to an end. He feels a little tired from all his running, climbing, and foraging, but there is still time for one last search for food. He wants to make sure his belly is full before he settles down for the night. A full stomach will help him sleep well and keep him warm. He scurries through the undergrowth, his senses still sharp. He is looking for any overlooked nuts or seeds. Perhaps he will find some late berries, still clinging to a bush. The forest is becoming quieter now. Many of the daytime birds have stopped singing. The sounds of evening insects are starting to fill the air. Squeaky is aware of these changes. He knows that nocturnal animals will soon be waking up and starting their activities. It is important for him to be back in his dray before it gets too dark. He finds a few more small seeds and a juicy beetle. He eats them quickly. He also takes a moment to visit one of his nearby water sources, perhaps a puddle or a small stream, for a drink. Staying hydrated is just as important as finding food. He is efficient in his movements now. He knows his territory very well. He moves with purpose, not wasting any energy. His internal clock tells him that it is time to head home. The air is getting cooler. Before he climbs back up to his dray, Squeaky takes one final look around. He checks for any lingering dangers. He listens carefully to the sounds of the approaching twilight. He wants to ensure his path to his nest is clear. He has had a successful day. He found food, he explored his territory, and he avoided danger. Now, he is ready for a long and restful sleep. The thought of his warm, cozy dray is very inviting after a day of constant alertness and activity. Section 9. Nightfall's embrace, safe and sound in the dray. As the last rays of sunlight fade from the sky, Squeaky makes his way back to his sturdy oak tree. He climbs swiftly and silently up the familiar bark. He reaches the entrance to his dray. It is a small round hole, just big enough for him to squeeze through. This small entrance helps to keep out larger predators. He slips inside. The dray is dark and warm. It is lined with soft materials like dried grass, moss, and shredded bark, making it a comfortable bed. Inside his dray, Squeaky feels completely safe. He is hidden from the dangers of the night. Owls might be hunting outside, foxes might be prowling below, but here, high in his tree fortress, he is secure. He curls up into a tight ball. He wraps his long, bushy tail around his body like a warm blanket. His tail is very useful. It helps him balance when he jumps. It communicates with other squirrels, and now it keeps him snug during the cool night. He closes his eyes. His breathing becomes slow and regular. He is tired after his long day. He dreams, perhaps, of chasing other squirrels through the treetops, or maybe he dreams of finding giant piles of delicious nuts. The forest outside is now full of the sounds of the night. The rustling of leaves in the gentle wind, the distant hoot of an owl, the chirping of crickets. But Squeaky hears none of it. He is fast asleep, resting and regaining his energy for another day of adventures. And so, Squeaky's day ends. It was a day full of activity, challenges, and small victories. From the first light of dawn until the darkness of night, he lived the life of a squirrel, a life of constant watchfulness, incredible agility, and clever planning. He is a small but important part of the forest ecosystem. Tomorrow, when the sun rises again, Squeaky will wake up. He will groom himself, he will survey his realm, and he will begin another exciting day in his wonderfully wild world.